Hello, and welcome to another episode of the RHAA Rewind, the show where we hit that rewind button on our alumni's journey and break it down. No two journeys are ever the same, and every journey deserves to be heard. We're your hosts, Andy Tran.
And Chantal Long.
Oh, it has been a minute since we've recorded.
It has been a little bit, but the world is opening up,
World
so
is
I think
opening
that's
up.
actually a good thing.
It's actually a good thing, yes. So last time we recorded was probably August,
August?
July?
August, I think.
I think
Yeah.
so.
We
So
released in August.
we released in August. So September passed, so school just started. So welcome back, HTM. Welcome to HTM, the class of 2025.
Yes, 2025.
Yes. Yeah, we hope you enjoy your time here, the next 4 or 5 years here.
Had to think
Yep.
about if it was 2025 or not.
Yep. Yeah. Just a year after a year after you graduate.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm in co-op, so I get an extra year of
Yeah.
fun.
Anyways, how you been? What's
I'm
new?
doing good. Life is good. I went back to Vancouver for a bit. The world is
Yes.
definitely opening again. Traveling was an interesting experience. But, doing pretty well, doing pretty well.
Yeah. Since the last time we saw each other, I took a week off to go to Montreal. Yeah, that was fun. I love Montreal.
Look at that. We're all traveling
We're
kind
all
of
traveling again.
again.
See,
Domestically.
normalcy is coming back,
Yes, domestic
a little
travel.
bit.
We love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And aside from that, just plugging away, working, living the dream. No, I say that condescendingly, but I love my job. Don't get me wrong.
Same, don't worry.
Yeah.
Um, and there's been a bunch of RHAA updates as well.
Yeah. What is English at this point?
It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Yes. RHAA updates. So, where do you want to begin?
I think we should start with our, very recent our upcoming event, yes.
Uncork your support.
Yeah, so Uncork Your Support is a new event, I guess the first of its kind that we're doing. And at the moment that we're recording this, it is not yet this date, but it was or is Wednesday, October 20th at 6:30 p.m. And we kind of did a bunch of promotion on social media and online. And essentially, you get wine shipped to your house. And there's a live virtual wine tasting, which will be with Violet Skuse, who is a 2015 alumna. She is a certified sommelier, and we're also incorporating Chef Tommy from TRSM, who is the executive chef there. And they're going to be doing kind of like a wine pairing slash cooking type thing. And all of the profits and proceeds from that went for fundraising for scholarships for HTM students. So that's a pretty exciting event that is happening. But that's definitely like one of our biggest updates from the RHA for sure.
Nice. Fancy. Wine delivered to your house.
I
Oh my
know
God.
we're very efficient like that now.
Yeah. And then next, I think an event just passed, World Tourism Day.
Yes, a big day for our industry. So World Tourism Day was Monday, September 27th, and HTM Research, so the research institute that we have at Ryerson under the HTM program, had a conversation with Dr. Sonia Gracci and Tracy Clark, and I think Chef Tommy was also there, and he curated a cocktail apparently. So the Research
Ooh,
Institute did host a pretty interesting event for World Tourism Day this year, and I believe it was all virtual. So
wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And we have to say a big congrats to some of our HTM alumni
Yes,
because they won some
so
TRSM awards.
yeah, so this was pretty recent, I think. I think this was October, like relatively recently. We had four of our wonderful HTM alumni win some pretty cool awards. So a big
Mm.
shout out to Sandy Young, who was a 2009 alumna, George Amo, who was a 2019 alumnus, Juanita Dixon, who's a 1997 alumna, and Michael Sadowski, who is a 2013 alumnus. So congratulations to Sandy, George, Juanita, and Michael. We're so proud of you from the HTM program.
Yeah. Look at us, HTM making their mark,
Yeah,
leaving a
honestly,
long lasting legacy.
four award winners.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe one day there'll be a guest on this podcast. You never know.
Maybe a little sneak peek, hopefully, hopefully.
Maybe. Yeah. All right. So that's newsworthy. But what else is in the news? Hospitality and tourism news. I have this story that I want to share with you.
I'm really excited about this,
Yeah.
guys, when we were
So this
previewing
story
this.
blew up all over Twitter like last week.
Mhm.
So it was on this Reddit forum called "Am I the A-hole?" I think we all know what a-hole
Yes.
stands for,
Yeah.
and pretty much people will post their stories of encounters they've had, and they just ask the internet, "Was I the a-hole in this situation, or was I totally right for doing that?"
Mhm. Yes.
So I found it. I found the actual Reddit post, and I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna try to condense it as best as I can.
Mhm.
So this person asks, "Am I the a-hole for deleting my friends' wedding photos in front of them? I'm a dog groomer. I take lots of photos of dogs all day to put on my Facebook, Instagram. A cut in a photo with every appointment. I very seldomly shoot things other than dogs. A friend got married a few days ago and wanted to save money and asked if I'd shoot for them. They were on a shoestring budget, and I agreed to shoot it for $250, which is nothing for a 10-hour event. On the day, I'm driving around and following the bride as she goes from appointment to appointment. I shoot the ceremony itself, and during the reception, I'm shooting speeches and people mingling. I started at around 11 a.m. and was due to finish at 7:30. Around 5 p.m., food is being served, and I was told I cannot stop to eat because I need to be the photographer. They did even save me a spot at any table. I'm getting tired and at this point kind of regretting doing it for next to nothing. The venue is also 110 degrees and there is no AC. I told the groom I needed to take off for 20 minutes to get something to eat and drink. There is no open bar or anything, and I can't even get water, and my two water bottles are long empty. He tells me I need to either be photographer or leave without pay. With the heat, being hungry, and being genuinely annoyed, I asked if he was sure, and he said yes. So I deleted all the photos I took in front of him and took off saying I'm not his photographer anymore. If I was being paid 250, honestly, at that point, I would have paid 250 just for a glass of cold water and somewhere to sit. So, I guess the question I have for you, was he the a-hole?
In my opinion, no.
Yeah,
$250 for 10 hours for a photographer is like
for
nothing. It's $0, and
yeah,
especially the fact that the photographer was driving around taking multiple shoots and didn't even account for, like, editing
yeah,
time. No.
yeah. First of all, no open bar at a wedding. Come on. Okay, but no, like, photography is an art.
Mhm.
Like, he's not even taking into account your friend will have to take the photos, go home, edit them, and then send them to you. Like, shoestring budget, I get it, but, like, that he was just taking advantage of his friend, you
Exactly. I
know?
mean, the
Like, the
first thing.
photographer yeah, the photographer was he's not the a-hole, like,
No,
he's totally in the right.
no. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say the first thing you learn in our program is to be nice to people, to
yeah,
have good service, to be hospitable. And you're telling me that this photographer couldn't even sit down. I recently had to hire photographers for Frosh Week for my student society, and they are gold. You treat
they
them
are
like
gold.
gold. You
Yeah.
There is no way I would ever do this.
Yeah, like,
So,
from, like, the weddings, like, I've worked, like, I've seen the photographers, like,
mhm,
it's an art, like, I've seen people who, like, edit videos and photos, like, during this reception, and it will play
exactly,
at the end of the night. Like, that's how
exactly.
hard they work.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
crazy turnaround. I mean, for any wedding planners, hotel managers out there, make sure you treat your photographers like gold.
treat your photographers well. Oh my
Mhm.
god. Okay, this story actually reminds me of probably the worst mistakes I've ever made as a server.
Oh
So,
no.
um, when I was, like, 2 months in or 3 months in as a banquet server, um I was serving at this wedding. Only worked weddings, never been invited to one. For all my non-single friends, you know the address when it's time to send out those invitations. I'm waiting.
Hint, hint.
But yeah, so I was a fairly new server. I was serving a
Mhm.
wedding, and I had to drop off glasses of water at every table. So I had a tray with like 12 glasses filled with water, and I got to like the vendor's table. So the vendor's table is where the photographer sits, the videographer sits, the wedding planner sits to the
Yep.
side.
Yep.
So I get to their table. I placed one glass of water on the table, and then the tray wasn't full at this point. I dropped off some of the other waters
Mhm.
already,
Right.
but somehow the balance on the tray,
Oh no.
you know,
Oh no.
went, timber, and I spilled water on a camera.
Was the camera okay? How was the photographer?
The
Were they mad?
photographer jumped up and grabbed it, and I literally thought I was like, "I'm getting fired." Like like, I don't make enough here to pay for that. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll pay for it, blah, 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 blah." That was a lie, I couldn't pay for it. But
You made the
at
offer.
the in the end, he was like, "Don't worry, the camera's waterproof, everything's
Okay.
fine." But I got a heart attack that day, man.
Okay, so for any servers out there, be very careful when you're serving the
Don't
working
do what
team.
I did. Yeah, especially not close to expensive equipment that you can't pay on a server's wage.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh. Well,
Yeah,
my piece of news for today is
yeah.
I think not quite as much of a story as that. But I did see that the Warner Brothers are opening up a hotel in Abu Dhabi.
I saw.
Yes, so
That's interesting.
I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to Abu Dhabi anytime soon,
Mhm.
but it's really cool. They have a bunch of like themed things. So they have like a Friends fountain, like the Friends, the TV show.
Yeah,
You got characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck making an appearance, and it's a bunch of different elements from different TV shows that the Warner Brothers have obviously had, like
yeah.
Westworld, Looney Tunes, and I actually believe it's under the Hilton brand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, is this the first so it's the first Warner Brothers themed hotel, but
Yes, I would say yes, because obviously I would expect there's some copyright and
yeah,
legality, so it's definitely a partnership, I would say, between the Warner Brothers and, Hilton Hotels.
it's actually opening very soon, scheduled for November 11th.
Yes, exactly. I was actually quite interested to hear that, I mean, this article says that it was the second of 3, earmarked for the island by Hilton, so I was very interested to see that Hilton's kind of, taking, an innovative route to hotels, I would say.
Yeah. I think they're also playing on, like, heartstrings because of the nostalgia.
Oh, absolutely,
Kinda, like,
absolutely.
every show's getting a reboot, everyone's reminiscing about, like, the old not old, but,
When you
like,
were a kid.
yeah, like, when we
Yeah.
were kids, like, Friends,
Mhm.
I don't think that transcends time, like, any generation can relate to Friends,
Oh,
and
I
then
agree.
yeah, and then you have the Bugs Bunny, all those characters, um, I think timing is great because they just released the reboot of Space Jam 2, I think, right?
Oh, I feel like I remember seeing that.
Hilton's smart, y'all.
Yeah, it's true, and they must have been building this for quite a while as well.
Yeah.
So, I guess the question
Yeah,
here
it's nice to
is
see that, again, the normalcy is coming back,
mhm,
you
mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Companies are bouncing back,
Mhm.
tourism is bouncing back.
So I guess the question is are we going to go to this Warner Brothers hotel anytime soon?
Ooh.
I would like to.
I know I would like to go too. I'm saying yes, but my wallet's saying no.
Well, I
That's
mean,
the
we're waiting for
issue.
borders too, so we
Yeah,
got time. We got time to
the
save up.
government's saying no too, so not just me.
Yeah, so just a heads up for everyone out there listening, if you
Yeah.
wanna go to a Warner Brothers hotel, before the borders open up, start saving your money now.
Start saving now.
Mhm.
Yeah, for that photo shoot in front of that friend's water fountain.
Oh my god, that would be so nice.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so our guest for today is Sarah Smith. So Sarah graduated recently, June 2021. She was a
Mhm.
co-op student, just like you,
Yes.
Chantel.
Yes, I
Yeah.
got a few more co-op trips
And
to go.
yep, and the conversation was very interesting because
Mhm.
she's actually a mature student. She returned to school after going to school. So I think she said she was 32 when she started at
Went
Ryerson.
back, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
so
she's
sorry.
go for it.
Yep. So I was just saying you'll get to hear her experience about pivoting and finding your passion, finding like what you're truly passionate about and limited to not limiting yourself in your professional career to what you've studied in
Yeah,
school.
exactly, and nothing's holding you back, right? Like, Sarah went back to school later, but she was still involved in multiple programs
Mhm.
at Ryerson, and she still had a bunch of different, experiences in the industry and in her career, so it's definitely never too late if that's anything that
Yeah.
you take away from this.
Yeah, and even recently, she did kind of a mini pivot again,
Hmm.
which you'll get to hear all about as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little sneak
Uh,
peek.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're gonna hit rewind on the. Wow, I literally can't
English
speak.
is hard for us today.
Yeah.
Everyone bear with us.
Without further ado, we're gonna hit rewind on the journey of Sarah Smith. After obtaining her Bachelor of Science in Psychology in 2008, Sarah Smith was well on her way towards a career in teaching. But after careful reflection and consideration, she knew in her heart that hospitality and tourism was the career path she needed to pursue. And so in 2016, her HTM journey officially began here at Ryerson. Sarah got involved in many facets at Ryerson during her time in the HTM program. This included a brief stint on the Ryerson Hospitality and Tourism Student Society in 2017, as well as being a member of the Ted Rogers Sales Leadership Program in 2020. Through her co-op obligations in 2017, Sarah became a member of the Water Tower Inn family in Sault Ste. Marie. After graduating in summer 2021, Sarah took a 4-month hiatus to pursue other ventures. However, she ultimately returned home to the Water Tower Inn, where she is currently the manager of sales for meetings and events. With 5 fruitful years in counting with the company, Sarah's decision to pivot her professional career has paid its dividends twofold. Hear her journey and more as we're about to hit rewind with Sarah Smith. Okay, everyone, please welcome to the rewind Sarah Smith.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Anthony. Hey,
Hi.
Chantal.
Hi, thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Oh, thank you for asking. I'm really excited
Yeah.
to kind of share some of my story with
Yeah.
you.
Well, first off, congratulations. I know you just graduated June 2021.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, the second graduating class of COVID-19, how do you feel?
Oh my gosh, it's not what I pictured to be graduating with. I was so excited throughout the first, 4 years of my post-secondary education to walk across that stage and just
I know.
yes, but uh,
Yeah. There's
there,
still hope. There's still hope for that ceremony.
yeah, me too. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it'll
Hopefully.
tell.
Yeah. Hopefully, when Chantal graduates in 3 years.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I hope so. Otherwise, let's not even put that out there.
Yeah. Okay. So so this is the rewind. So let's hit that rewind button. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. So we always start off the interview by asking, why did you choose to study hospitality?
Okay. So what a lot of people know and what a lot of people don't know is I actually returned back to Ryerson as a mature student. So
Okay.
I did some university before I was in psychology and I was going to get on my way to get my teaching degree and I just didn't enjoy the psychology and stuff. So I said this isn't for me, right?
Hmm.
And I've always been employed in the hospitality sector, be it hotels or restaurants. And I said to myself one day, I said, you know what? Enough's enough. This is the profession that I want to stay in for the rest of my life. I need to move forward with it. And I was doing some research online and discovered that Ryerson had this amazing hospitality and tourism management program. So I applied and the rest is history.
Nice. So
Hmm.
I guess the key to that story is
No,
to it's never too late to like change career paths, because I feel
it
like a lot of people, they feel trapped because it's like, oh well, like I chose this to study, that means I have to stay in this field.
No, and you absolutely
Yeah.
don't. If you find something that you're passionate about and you want to make a career out of it, or you just want to simply just learn about it, it's never too late. I went back to school when I was 32 years old. So, I mean, really, I didn't think that that would ever happen, but I
Yeah.
am so fortunate and so happy that it did because I learned so much more about the hospitality industry that I didn't know. I had an opportunity to get my CHIA certification, which I never would have done if I didn't return to university. I have my safe food handlers that we got during Brian Heisman's class. So it's like all these
Hmm.
different opportunities that I would never have had I not gone to Ryerson. I've been blessed.
Yeah, and like you said, the rest is history.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. Okay, so now you're in school. You were pretty involved with Ryerson during your would it be called undergrad since you
Yeah.
came back? Yep, I guess yeah, it's in your undergrad career. Like me and Chantel, you were also involved in the student society as a
Mhm.
director of events,
Mhm.
RHCSS. So
Mhm.
what was your experience there?
Oh, it was awesome. So I got involved in the second semester of first year, and I worked actually with Brian Ryback. We were both project managers, and it was so cool to just start doing the social media and stuff like that in first year and getting to know some of the upper year students. And then I carried on into second year, and I had the opportunity to become the director of events. So that was really neat. I got to uh, organize and uh, bring a team over to Montreal to participate in the taste competition. That was such
Okay.
a neat experience. I got to help train them. It was really cool,
Right.
and it's through those experiences that you get to meet people, you get to network, and you get to grow your network, right? You get
Mhm.
hands-on experience doing, executive level things like, for example, the social media, even directing the case competition, stuff like that. It just gives you that opportunity to, empower your leadership skills and really,
Yeah.
and get involved. And through that involvement too, not only do you get to meet other students, but you get to meet, people in the industry and everything too, because you have to communicate with them and everything, right? So it's really great to be involved.
Yeah,
Oh
for
my
sure.
god.
And oh, sorry, Chantel, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I had no idea that you had worked on the case competition because I did the case competition this year virtually.
Yeah,
So it's really cool to hear that like case competition specialist is what they call it now, I think, was still around.
nice. How are you
Yeah.
enjoying it?
So I participated last year and it was really great because it was very different. Like virtually, we did all of our training online and everything. But our teams came out like pretty much on top. So I was pretty proud of us.
You're so
Nice.
proud. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I completely forgot Montreal was your year that you were on RHCSS.
Yep.
Yeah, how
That's
was Montreal?
fun.
Yeah,
That's a blast. That
I
was
love Montreal.
much fun. Montreal's beautiful,
Yep.
and we got to meet the students, and it's so amazing because the students that I met from the Montreal team, I have them on Facebook. We're Facebook friends. We've communicated after the whole Montreal taste competition. So you get to meet all these people. It's just such a great experience.
Yeah, definitely. And on your point about like getting involved and how like you get to meet your fellow peers, like I've met some of my closest friends from getting involved in like the student society and everything at school, and it also strengthens your relationships with your professors.
Oh,
Yep.
100%. 100%. I mean, Frederick was involved, Chris Gibbs was involved, Tom
Hmm.
Griffin was involved. We had Zen Liu. We had we had so many different professors coming and helping us and listening to us, and it's just so amazing, that we have all this support too from our professors,
Hmm.
and that they really care and believe in us as well. I think that makes a difference because there are many universities, and we have a large university, and there are
Yep.
many universities where you are literally just a number. You don't get that intimate connection with your professors. That they don't know you by name, right? But at Ryerson, once you get involved and once you really show that your interest in things, the professors get to know you, and it can lead to great opportunities post grad as well, right?
Yeah. 100%. I agree. Especially like within our program, our professors are amazing. Like they're always willing to connect with you.
Yes, always, even
Yeah.
after you graduate, it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so aside from getting involved at Ryerson, I've noticed
Mhm.
that you've also took on quite a few jobs on the side while going to school. So the
Yep.
first one I want to ask you about was that you actually worked for MLSE, Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, for a little bit.
Oh, that was Actually, it's
How
so
what
funny
was that
talking
there?
about that today at my job. I said the very best job, my most favorite job that I've ever had was working for MLSE. I was
Okay.
a
Oh,
server. It was amazing. It was crazy busy all the time. I during, you know, the times when people would not come and order like beer or whatever, we were able to watch the game that's playing or the concert. So that was pretty cool. Um, I don't know. It was such an amazing experience there. I remember I was working and the senior food and beverage manager came up to me and he's like, "Excuse me, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in trouble." And he, Sarah, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, listen, we've noticed that tonight you did this. I don't remember what it was." He goes, "You did a very, 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 very good job." He gave me this piece of paper that outlined what it was that I had done well. And he awarded me with like a gift certificate that I could use.
No way.
Yeah, so that's what they do there. They recognize good hard
That is
work,
so
right?
cool.
And I was stunned when that happened. I was like, really? Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Oh
And
my,
I don't know, it was just so amazing. It
feels
was a
good.
great job and it's exciting, right? It's
Yeah.
an exciting
How
job.
how long were you there for? Like being the server? Was it just at Scotiabank Arena or was it like at the different venues?
Different venues. So I did
Okay.
Scotiabank and BMO.
Yeah.
So it was like a almost 2 year stint. I had to resign because like with personal issues with my dad. So I had to
Okay.
resign and I ended up joining the co-op program, which actually worked out very well. And I went back to Sault Ste. Marie to do my co-op placement, and that's when I had to resign from MLSE. But that was a big regret. I didn't
Oh,
want to because it was such a great job, but I'm so thankful that I had that opportunity.
nice. And I just have to ask, sorry, Chantel, did you meet any famous people?
Ah, um, not really, actually, believe it or
No?
not. Wendell Clark. Oh, they had
Okay.
um this come like a family day where you could go and you can walk around MLSD, go into the change room, so like the Maple Leafs change room, the
Okay.
Raptors change room, all that kind of stuff. And then Wendell Clark was there signing autographs. I really
That's so
honestly
cool.
don't even know how bad I wanted to run into Drake. I'm like, Drake is always there, but never times when I'm working. Yeah, he was the one celeb that I wanted to run into, but never did.
All right.
darn.
I,
Um, I was just gonna say, speaking of co-op, I'm currently not in a co-op semester, but I'm a co-op student. So where did you end up after MLSE? Is this when you started at Water Tower Inn?
yes, and so Water Tower Inn has been a huge, 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 huge part of my life. I started there in 2015, and then I went back. I worked there for a year and went back to school. When I joined the co-op program, I just reached out. I said, "Listen, I just joined my co-op program. I would love to come, work for you for 8 months. I in the supervisor capacity that I was in before I left." And they said, "No, no." They're like, "We want you to be the pub manager." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Oh,
And I'm like, "I don't know if I'm ready for that." And they're like, "Nope, you're gonna do it for 8 months." And I did. And it was such a crazy, wild experience. It was my first time actually in a real full management role. And it was scary because the pub was always so busy and I was like, oh, I can't do this. But I'll tell you one thing. My management skills today, I owe it all to that first experience working in the pub. I learned how to be a leader. I learned so many different things. I was able to apply things I learned in class, like in our food and beverage.
mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the course, the control system course, the one where we learned about like control systems and stuff, and like,
Yes.
right. So I was able to apply what I learned in that class into like controlling the liquor and stuff so that it wouldn't get stolen and it was just really, really cool. And then my second co-op placement came about and they're like, "Oh, well, now you can be the manager of the restaurant." I go, "Oh, okay." I'll do that. Yeah. And so then I got to manage. something even bigger because the restaurant's a 3-level restaurant, right? And
Oh wow, it was. It is.
yeah,
Okay.
and normally we'll have about, I would say about 12 servers on, plus like maybe like a runner, some bartenders, and everything. So I was in charge and managing, more staff. I was able to learn how to do proper scheduling, forecasting, cost control, and all that kind of stuff. So that was really, really cool. And then then I would have had, yeah, one more
Third, fourth, yeah.
fourth, right?
Yes, I think so.
Third. Oh my gosh. I think it was still, I was doing restaurants for the third one. Because I did, oh, that's right. Because I did it instead of going back to school and then doing a third and then going back to school and doing a fourth.
Mhm.
I did my second and third all in 1 year. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
did my fourth. Yeah. So that's what happened. And then my fourth was actually, I really wanted to work in sales. So I made this PowerPoint video, this animated PowerPoint video telling, the proprietor and all the managers why they should hire me as a sales manager. And I'm like, oh, I'll never
That's
get it. You're not going
dedication.
to hire me for this. And sure enough, boom, I got it. So that was really cool
Nice.
too, because I was in the sales leadership program. So I was able to apply stuff that I learned there into that role. And then I took like a 4-month hiatus because, I wanted to try
Life.
something different. And now I'm back at the water tower as the sales manager. So
I just want to backtrack a little bit. The sales program, was that at Ryerson?
that was at Ryerson. So
Let's talk a little bit about that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
this is actually, it's a game changer. That was one of the best things I got involved with. So Dr. Karen Peaster actually spearheads it. She was the one who essentially founded the program. She is one of our HTM professors.
Mhm.
Super, super, super cool. She's awesome. And she's very,
Yes,
very
super
passionate about,
sweet. You have to take one of her classes.
oh yeah. If you
Yeah.
don't take one of her classes, you're missing out. Like you can't, you have to take one of her classes. She's amazing. And she's so passionate about sales, and she really wanted us to be successful in a career in sales. So she pulled all the stops there. Like there's so many things that she got us involved in, from doing little seminars to doing these assessments that identified our strengths and weaknesses. Like it's not the Gallup, but it's like similar to that, where you kind of learn what, like how they have it's like a questionnaire, and then it tells you whether you're like a
like an introvert and extrovert.
Yeah. So we did that. That was cool.
Okay.
We did lots of role playing. I was involved on the trust team, so I was able to compete. I did one competition in America. That was really cool. But
That's so
essentially
cool.
what the program did was it helped me understand sales, how to prospect, how to turn a prospect into a lead, and how to really go from beginning to end, and secure a sale. So I'm applying a lot of what I learned
Nice.
in that to what I'm doing today. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I have quite a few friends in the sales program, and I'll have you have a very good reputation with sales with them. Oh yeah, I when you brought up the sales leadership program, I like completely blanked for a second, because I remember people saying, "Oh my god, like Sarah's like so good on the sales team," and now I'm connecting the dots.
Oh my gosh, and then so many people in our program were on the sales in the sales leadership program, like Vivian and Brian and Kim and all these people, and I think that it really brought us closer together too, being more involved in things together, and it was a great learning experience for all of us. I highly recommend it to anyone. Get involved.
Yeah, your passion for sales does show, because you have a long-lasting legacy now at Ryerson.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I love that
So
school.
yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you took a 4-month hiatus
Mhm.
from the Water Inn. What did you do in those 4 months?
So in the 4 months, I actually worked at Enterprise, which, for those that don't know,
Okay.
car rental uh,
Yeah.
uh, place, and I was in the management trainee program, which is great. It's an excellent program for those who want to, really understand how to become a manager from the ground up, and essentially move into, various positions like assistant manager, branch manager, area manager, maybe working for corporate one day. I highly recommend checking it out if you're interested in sales, because they have this thing called a matrix, and they grade you, right? You're on a rate system, and you're rated for your sales in different protections that you can add to, like a reservation, and it's challenging because a lot of people, they're like, no, don't want it. So it's challenging but fun, and it's very competitive. So if you're competitive in nature, it's a great job. But it wasn't hotels, so of
Yeah.
course I was like,
Right.
uh
Yeah. So you can say in your professional career, you have pivoted twice from psychology to hospitality, from hospitality to car sales or sales.
yes.
Yeah. So from hotels to sales, were there anything you've learned from Ryerson hospitality that applied to enterprise? Like, did you find that some of the stuff you learned in class was helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. When as I mentioned, having to sell different protection products. So like essentially what that was like people would rent a car, and then you'd ask them if they wanted to add on like a damage protection package, roadside assistance, or a different form of insurance. And if you're not selling the features and benefits of the products, no one's going to buy them, right?
Hmm.
And I learned that in the sales leadership program about selling features and benefits are so important. And I'm thankful that, I learned and I practiced over and over and over again in the sales leadership program how to essentially sell something to somebody, because I I was always I was always on the matrix. I was before I left, I think I was number 6 or something. And so, I mean, obviously I was doing something right, but I
Yeah.
actually owe that knowledge and how to properly sell to the sales leadership program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you basically started at the Water Tower Inn, but you're also at the Water Tower Inn still as the
Yeah.
manager of sales meetings and events.
Yeah.
I hope that was the right title. Yes.
Yeah. That's the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's gonna be fun. It's now that things are starting to pick up again.
Hmm.
Um, we're really starting to see a great increase in bookings. So I just started back 2 days ago, and oh my gosh, my calendar is so full. I'm getting calls. I'm getting like I today I think I responded to about 8 inquiries like in an hour. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
exciting. Yeah, because when I first started in the sales role during co-op, that was the start of COVID. So no one was traveling,
Mm.
no one
Hmm.
was doing anything. So now that we're starting to we're able to book at full capacity with, of course,
Physical
social distancing.
distancing
Yeah,
measures.
yep.
Yeah.
Um, we're starting to see that business return, and I live in a border city, so we border with Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and I'm
Okay.
sure you guys know that America can come visit us, but we're going to be able to go visit our friends over in the States in about a month, right?
Oh, yeah. They just
Yes, I
announced
saw
that
that.
very recently.
Like
I
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that amazing? Like it's
Hmm.
starting. We're starting to see that.
Mhm.
A
Um,
sense of normalcy is
yeah,
starting to creep back out.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and we're seeing it. We're seeing lots of travelers coming here, and now that they're opening the Canadian and US borders, a lot of cities that have borders, for instance, if you drove from here to Sarnia, it would take about 10 hours through like driving through Canada. But if you drove through the States, it's half the time, about 5 hours. So we're going to
Wow.
see a lot of
Okay.
people, like a lot of workers traveling through. So we're going to see an influx in business travel for sure, because that always
Mhm.
happens. Lots more travel through the States and everything. But one thing that we're really excited about is the fact that now all these sports teams from the States that used to come over are starting to book again. So we're going to see a lot of
Nice.
business from the States, and we're really excited for that.
Yeah.
But I think the only challenge that I've had so far, I worked a wedding a couple of weeks ago, and the only challenge I've had is checking the vaccine passports, because some people are
Yes.
still like ignorant
Mm-hmm.
about it, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a challenge in having to make sure people are wearing their face masks. Some people are so against it, but at the end of the day, if this is all we need to do to reopen and start to return to normalcy, like, this is great, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely agree with you there.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
like, on the topic of work, describe like a typical day of work as a manager of sales.
Okay. So I usually start around 9 a.m.
Okay.
I'll go in, check my voicemail, check my emails, grab a coffee because I know I'm gonna need it. And
Oh, you tell
I,
me. Ooh.
yeah, that's exactly what I grab. A nice little Starbucks. Yeah, a little cafe in our hotel. So, and then I get my day started, and my day does not slow down. So, if you want to hear about my day today, I got in. Um, phone calls started right off the bat. And a lot of people are looking for wedding information right now for 2022, 2023,
Mhm.
small meetings, that sort of thing. So I had 3 phone calls, and then I had about 6 emails, like inquiries to respond to. So I did that, and that takes a while because you have to get information. You have to, especially when they're asking
Mhm.
for dates and stuff, you really have to, it takes a while to get through them. So I successfully booked a meeting today of 40 people. I think I've got probably about 3 weddings for 2022, hopefully in the book. So
Nice.
they're 10
Woo!
right now. So we'll
So
see.
exciting.
It is so exciting because they can have like 150 people, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so I've got meetings with them next week. And then I usually take a little lunch break. I don't take the full hour because it's just too busy. Um, I had my department head meeting today. So for about an hour, we meet as a group and we talk about each of the various departments. So we all are in the know
Uh,
for everything.
like on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I assist with front desk, so I'll go and I'll help out with breaks and stuff. So far I haven't had to do that, but next week I'll probably have
Yeah.
to. And then yeah, I mean my phone and my email doesn't stop, so it's
Yeah.
constantly responding and making sure that, because I do not like to see customers or guests turned away. I want them to say yes, right? So I work very hard at making sure that I secure the sale. So that's what I do. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I love
Yeah.
my job so much.
Yeah. You play all the parts, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And everyone is so great to work with, and they truly value and respect me. So I'm very grateful for that.
Nice. So as the sales manager, do you sometimes get involved in like the coordinating aspect of these events? Like, do you
Yeah.
have to like coordinate weddings and stuff sometimes too?
Yep. So what I have to do for any events or even weddings that I book, I book the whole thing. I communicate with the guest or the client up until the day of, and then the day of I am there for support until like for a wedding until they start their dancing. Like once they're done their dessert and stuff, then I leave. But I'm there to help coordinate and execute for the first few hours. Um, I really want to look into getting a wedding planner certificate. My previous
Nice.
teacher, she had one, and I think that it would be really, really cool. So if anyone knows where I could get that, let me know because I'm really interested in it. And then, yeah, but typically with meetings and events, I work alongside the assistant general manager of food and beverage, and we work together and we execute it together usually. Or if it's a small meeting, then she'll set it up and have one of the staff take care of it. But if it's a larger event, I'm there for support.
So you're pretty much an events coordinator as well.
Yeah, events coordinator, manager, front desk, server.
Sales. She's got everything covered.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. That's why my days are so busy. I'm go, 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 and I absolutely love it. When my manager asked me today, she's like, okay, listen, so we're a little stuck and I might need you to start work a little later next week and work front desk. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, no problem. Like that's the way it goes at my hotel. What I like about it is everyone works together. So we basically cross train in various departments so that we can help each other. And then that way, if one department's stuck, then there's always someone there that can help. So
yeah, for
I think
sure.
that's definitely probably like one of your strengths or like highlights of your work experience is you worked in so many different departments, is that you picked up so many different skills and now you can work in all of those departments as well.
If I could recommend anything for anyone, if you ever have the opportunity to move around in various departments, do it, because then you become this powerhouse of knowledge. You become very valuable to the company. And if you ever, you can actually discover maybe you don't like working in food and beverage, but you might enjoy working at front desk. Well, try out front desk, move around the hotel, see what you enjoy, because you might find your real passion by doing that too. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So you've been with Water Tower for, you said 2015, so that's 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're similar to me in the sense that like we've been with our current companies for like a long time. Like I've worked at the golf club, Angus Glen Golf Club, for 5.5 years, almost
That's
6.
amazing.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, what is the key to longevity within a company?
Well, I think that it all starts with enjoying your job. If you don't enjoy your job and you don't enjoy your workplace, then it becomes very tricky. I think that you have to also have a little bit of an open mind, because in every workplace, and I mean, if it's your first or second job, um, if you don't enjoy certain aspects of it, figure out what it is that you don't enjoy and work on that. If it's something that can be fix it, because the grass is never greener on the other side. And I've learned that too the hard way. And if you really have a great opportunity and it's, something minor that might be bugging you about, your workspace, then say something or fix it. Also, I think that working for a company that values you as a person and values your hard efforts and your work and your knowledge is very important. I've been very fortunate. As mentioned, I did take off for four months, and I actually had the assistant general manager and the proprietor both bring me out for dinner. And that's how I essentially returned back to the water tower. And, I realized how much they valued me, and that felt really, really good, right? So being valued, feeling valued, and knowing that you're making a difference in the company is good. Also, I think that as a manager, and this is something I recommend if you become a manager just for your staff, motivation, uh, showing that you appreciate their work, praising, celebrating, that sort of thing is very important. That's what will keep employees. I think that some places they'll be like, well, at least I'm paying them, so they have to do the job. But it's not just the paycheck. It's about feeling valued. It's about feeling that you're working in a fun workplace, that sort of thing. So from an employee point of view, just really, figure out if there's something bugging you, figure it out and fix it if it's a great workplace that you enjoy working in. And then as a manager, to keep your employees, definitely making sure that you're motivating them is very, very important, and training, because a lot of people leave too because they just don't know what they're doing, or they feel that they don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing. They don't have the support, right? So I've just been very fortunate to have been, working in a place that offers me literally all of those things, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Absolutely.
agree. Being on the management team at Angus Glen, like I can vouch, like a small little thank you can go a long way with your
yeah,
staff.
yes, you don't even know, or
Yeah.
even like, walking by and saying, "Great job,"
Yeah.
job.
Thanks for everything today,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy
really
because
good.
it's that feeling of recognition, right?
Yeah.
And and no matter what anyone says, everyone needs that. And I think
Mhm.
that as managers, and Chantal, you're going to be a great manager too. Um, just making sure that we understand that if we take care of our employees, and they're going to take care of our business, which is essentially what Marriott said and Disney and all that,
Yep.
it really holds true. So you really
Mhm.
just, if you feel taken care of as an employee, or you're taking care of your employees as a manager, it's going to be a successful.
No, absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree with you because I did my first co-op placement this summer,
Ah,
and my management team was wonderful. I actually worked at D2L, so for any Ryerson students, that's what all of our core shells are on.
oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, and their management team that I worked with was amazing, and like if I were to go back to them, I would not be surprised because they're great. Like everything you guys both said was totally true.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Actually, I feel like I saw that, and I wanted to ask you about it. And then
Yes.
I don't know, life just got crazy and I forgot to. But that was a great experience on working for D2L then, right?
It really was. I mean, I think when I started co-op, didn't imagine that I'd be working for the education company that runs my education. Um, but it was a really good experience. They actually have like an events team on their marketing team, so that's what I ended up working on as. And it was a pretty small team, but because like the managers and I got to like kind of know each other, it was a really good experience.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for you. Think you'll go back?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I did, but I'm also seeing like what else is open for next summer because I think it's going to be a very different world as well.
I agree. And
Yeah.
I do want to throw one thing in here. Now, Chantal, obviously D2L isn't a hospitality and tourism operation, right?
Yes.
Now, see what a lot of people might already know, but some people might not. There are so many transferable skills that we learn in the hospitality and tourism management
Oh,
program.
yes.
Like, you are not limited to just working in hospitality and tourism, right? You worked at D2L, you were able to transfer skills you learned in the program
Mhm.
to your position there.
Mhm.
Enterprise, like, it's not a hospitality or
Mhm.
tourism company, but I was able, like, customer service, Chris Gibbs' customer service courses,
Yep.
or, stuff like that. You're able to apply what you've learned in this program to so many different things. And that's a real value out of this program too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it
I
shows
agree.
that like hospitality is not like it's in almost like every single industry wherever you go.
Yes.
Yes,
But
Yeah.
that
you
is so key.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are winding down this conversation, but we could talk to you for like hours.
I
Like you
know
have
I
so much knowledge on
totally.
hospitality and sales. So Chantel has this little game
Okay.
that
Yes.
we're gonna play. Just a little rapid fire this or that, just to get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do this at the end of I guess every podcast episode.
Yep.
And it's basically like rapid fire this or that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say two things and then you just choose one.
Okay.
Okay. So hotel or Airbnb?
Hotel.
Dine in or take out?
Dine in.
Of course. Music or podcasts?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. You know what? I'm gonna go with music.
I
All right.
understand.
Oh well.
Um as we're on now. Morning bird or night owl?
Night owl for sure.
Same. City lights or countryside?
Oh my gosh. Hey, I love city lights. Yeah, city lights for sure.
And a night in or a night out?
A night out.
And my last this or that rapid fire question for you.
Okay.
Pub manager or sales manager?
Sales manager for sure.
Okay.
But that is the end of
Yeah.
my rapid fire
All right.
question.
So we've hit that rewind button. Now let's hit the fast forward button. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years' time?
Mhm.
Okay, so in five
Yeah.
years' time, I'm either hopefully, fingers crossed, running the water tower,
Yes.
or
Nice.
if not running the water tower, I'm back in Toronto and I'm working for like corporate Marriott or something. That's my goal. It's either running the water tower or returning back to the big city and really making a name for myself. So I won't stop at any level.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there.
Oh,
Toronto, get
I
ready.
don't
Storm's
doubt
coming.
that.
Yeah. So we have your LinkedIn on the screen right now, and we have the socials for the water tower in. And I guess we'll end off by asking you, what is one piece of advice that you would give to a current student studying hospitality?
If I was to give any advice to anyone, it's network. I know you're going to hear
Hmm.
that until you're blue in the face and it's like, oh my God, okay, I've heard that a million times, but seriously, network. I You don't realize how valuable it is until after you graduate or
Mhm.
even through graduate or even through school. Um, it will help you land jobs. It will help you move forward. It's just so important. Networking is just unbelievably important. So that's my answer to that question, hands down.
Important
And
notes.
definitely get involved. Get involved
Hmm.
because the peers that you are with today at school are the peers you're going to be working with in the future. So, you want to get to know them and really
Yep.
make a difference, right?
Yep.
I'm
And
taking
there you
mental
have it.
notes. I'm taking mental notes.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. There you have it. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Sarah, for agreeing to be a guest. We
Thank you
hope
for
you enjoyed
asking
your
me.
time. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're
Yep.
welcome.
And
Bye, everyone.
bye. And just a reminder, you can follow RHAA at RHAA Ryerson on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And our LinkedIn is just our full name.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much.
You're
See
welcome.
ya.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.